somehow there is a philosophy that led us, as Turing says, to think linearly. I must produce and make a lot of money. And once I make a lot of money, I buy many goods that make me have pleasure, like television sets, my kitchen, my bed, my clothes, my shoes, my cars, my television set, my computer, my pen, my new silk hair, my glasses, so that I can see you. And there is Ellen MacArthur and a number of people from around the world, I won't say from where, who are thinking that probably we need to theorize a little bit better, and instead of making it a straight line to pleasure, we make it both pleasure but also creating a beautiful world. Those who made it linear made things and dumped them. Just 4 years ago, they were checking through the dikes. I don't know whether you know what the dikes are, but if you go to Netherlands, there is all this water collected in dams that makes the water come out, and the land from the sea is reusable. So they reclaim land from water, from the sea. And after many years of doing this, they decided to check what's inside the dams, like we do desilting. And they found tons and tons and tons of bicycles, plastic wastage. I'm here to represent the academia, but also to say how we can rethink production. From the beginning, I insist that we should be thinking of a circular economy starting from a dignified human life. So without much ado, we must bring the economy that dignifies people. And in dignifying people, you cannot but dignify the earth around you. There is no need of having a good, beautiful house with high walls. There is no need of having a beautiful house with a stinking, unreusable plot of garbage. That's the reality. So how do academics resolve this? In Strathmore University, where I've been for more than 30 years, we recycle the rainwater. We right now have 300,000 liters of rainwater. We have collected for just this few days of rain we've had, less than 3 weeks. All that water will be used for the toilets. We are producing 0.6 megawatts of solar energy. We are currently redesigning the disposal in the next 7 years of the solar panels so that they don't pollute. We are burning every garbage. We have just replaced, I would say, the plastic bottles. So in any of our 6 cafeterias, plus those we have rented out from our student center to outsiders, we are trying to push the idea, no plastic. Our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Vincent Ugutu, tries not to use any paper. So if you go to his office, he has just one little cabinet with some beautiful glass. So he has to show us by design how to enjoy the world using what you have. We have also tried to go around the country. We are now in 7 counties, thanks to the United States Aid for International Development, USAID, a project I lead at the national, the sub-national, and at the village level. In Mombasa, Nakuru, Turkana. Turkana is a little bit of my own project, so don't put it there. But yes, I'm doing crazy stuff with the Turkanas around circularity. We are dealing with fashion. We are also in Makueni, Isiolo, Mombasa. And now we are going to help develop cooperatives around this same idea in Kilifi, in Kakamega, in Busia. That's in addition to the other 6 I have spoken about. It's amazing how the youth are taking this up. But ultimately, how will universities encourage maintenance, reuse, refurbishment, remanufacture, recycling, and composting? Well, one thing is that we have to try and avoid synthetic. But now, ladies and gentlemen, synthetic, you know, it requires a lot of work. And how does industry work with universities to get new minds and new theories around this synthetic becoming a natural product? How do we do it? You see, for the academics here, a tree's singular cell has cellulose, but natural. It can be broken down, and it is very strong. We can use even chemicals to break it. But why do we come with synthetic carbon bonds we call plastic? Because we want to make money and more money and more money. It will be more expensive to use natural carbon bonds because they are made within a circularity of physical laws that govern our entire galaxies. So what do? Well, they're in the universities. That is where the endowed can transform. If you don't work with universities where the young people with intelligence are coming out to lead universities, or in the technical vocational schools where they are making structures for the future, machines for the future, then we must find another way of intelligence, and I don't know which one it is. They say that the university, for it to be great, must link to the industry. And research must link to the industry from the university. And the industry and university must inform governance. So we will leave here thinking, how do we replace carbon fuels? How do we replace every fabric, every plastic, every kitchen equipment I have, every car we are using here into something recyclable? How do we break it down? There's a lot of money in that, but I leave that question to you. For myself, I repeat, our universities are there to be the foundation for those new thoughts that we recreate our world in future. Ladies and gentlemen, if it is in fashion, I can assure you, our great-grandfathers, and I work in Samburu and Masai and in Turkana and in Kikuyu, Kiambu, deep inside there. And you know, they make their clothes from the bark of the mogumo tree. Beautiful fabric. But we don't go to them. The age-old economy always thought about the world and their land. But we don't go back to them to ask them, how did they do it? How did they conserve water? How do they conserve animals? How did they live with animals? How do we go back to them and recapture that history? Rather than keep regurgitating in our universities and academia the history of the modern economy that is linear, aimed at the so-called GDP. That is, how much money are you making per person? How do you reconvert that? I leave those words to you. I think I was given 10 minutes, and I think they are over. Mr. MC, thank you very much for allowing me to give those few remarks, and I hope a beautiful day to all of you. Thank you.
Wow, Daktari, thank you so much indeed. How do we replace what we have into recyclables? From the beginning, we must think of a circular economy that dignifies. Thank you, Daktari.